both Biden and Trump easily won their primaries yesterday in Arizona, Florida, Illinois, Kansas, and Ohio. But there's been a lot of news about Trump this week. And here to help us break it all down, we've got our good friend and veteran trial attorney, Mark Eiglarsh. Yes, Mark, welcome to the show.
What a joy it is to be here always with you, my friends.
We love you. All right, so let's get to it. Earlier this week, Trump's lawyer said he's been unable to obtain the $454 million bond that he owes in New York. Why does Trump have to post this bond?
Well, technically he doesn't. But if he doesn't, then they're going to act on the judgment and they're going to seize his assets. You know, the New York Attorney General is going to own a lot of nice golf courses and skyscrapers. So he's got to come up with that bond amount so that he can appeal the judge's ruling. If he doesn't put that money up, they're going to start seizing his assets.
Oof. So what are Trump's lawyers arguing here? That he doesn't have to pay it while he appeals, or what's the deal?
Right, that's what they're saying. He's saying, trust me. You know, Judge, the guy who you just found to be a massive fraudster, who along with my son and others committed an organized scheme to defraud billions of dollars over years. Just trust me. I'm going to appeal you. You will lose. Or if you don't lose, Judge, and they uphold this ridiculous verdict against me, then trust me, I'll have that money for you. But I just shouldn't have to put anything up front now. Trust me.
So, Mark, you kind of answered this question. What happens if he can't post a bond or come up with the money by Monday, right? You already said they start seizing his assets. When is it ultimately due?
Okay, it's due right away, but let me explain to you. It's not just that initial amount. Every single day, there's interest at about $112,000 a day. So now we're at $467 million. Plus, the bond amount isn't just for that 467. You've got to post 120% of what is owed. So his actual bond amount is $557 million.
Right.
He's saying, I'm not liquid. I don't got it. And
so, Mark, let me ask you this. My whole bond acknowledges from Dog the Bounty Hunter. From what I know is that if you pay your bond, right, and you aren't convicted of the crime, you get that bond money back. Is that true in this case too?
Well, yes, if a judge is found to have committed error, meaning this particular judge made an erroneous ruling, then the appellate court will say, bad, 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 we're reversing this whole finding, in which case he doesn't owe that money. They would either have to retry him, or they make some finding, an incredible finding that he doesn't owe any of that money, that the decision was erroneous. So, yeah, that could still happen.
Ooh. The amount of money I could come up with by Monday would be very unimpressive. So, I mean, whatever he could come up with. So I have to ask you, can Trump get this bond money from anybody, even a foreign source? Because I would think that would be super illegal.
No, he could certainly take the money as long as it's from a lawful source. So if you're looking to lend him a little bit, he'll take it.
Oh, boy. Wow.
But then, can I ask, then don't you own the president? If you give the president
he's not a president
million,
now, he's a citizen.
But he's trying to become president.
Isn't that politics?
He's still influential.
But that's a pretty big.
Oh, my goodness.
But he's a citizen.
Really? Are you guys just learning that that's how it works?
Yeah.
Judges throughout this great nation, politicians, they ask us for money. That's how it works.
They're all above board, Mark.
Yeah. Someone just wrote in someone said my pillow guy is going to be back up, to make money. Good one. All right, let's talk about another Trump headline. He is suing ABC News and George Stephanopoulos for defamation. And it's really interesting over this interview that I watched George did with Representative Nancy Mace, who I think is Trump's upcoming running mate. Take a look.
I'm not going to sit here on your show and be asked a question meant to shame me about another potential rape victim. I'm not going to do that.
It's actually not about shaming you. It's a question about Donald Trump.
No, you are shaming me.
You've endorsed Donald Trump for president.
Right.
Donald Trump has been found liable for rape by a jury. Donald Trump has been found liable for defaming the victim of that rape by a jury. It's been affirmed by a judge.
It was not a criminal court case, number one. Number two, I live with shame. And you're asking me a question about my political choices, trying to shame me as a rape victim, and I find it disgusting.
So a lot of people felt like she was ambushed in a way, and I know Trump is invested in Representative Mace because, again, I think she'll be the Veep for him. What is Trump alleging in this lawsuit of defamation?
They're alleging that what he said is false. And more than that, because Trump is a public figure, he's got to allege actual malice.
Right.
What that means is that George knew it was false when he said it, and or a reckless disregard of the truth. So it's a tall order to prove that. Most celebrities do not prevail in defamation suits.
And so it's because he said the word rape and not sexual abuse. Is that correct? That was what he's suing for?
Kind of, yeah. That it's a civil jury and that the countersuit was thrown out, but the judge made a finding that a jury did find that it was sexual abuse, because the definition is anything, whether it be if I can say the word, a penis or any other body part entering the person of another, that's rape.
Right, exactly.
So the ultimate defense that Stephanopoulos has is, I don't know, truth.
Right, which is the ultimate defense in a defamation. Right.
So do you, so the defense of George Stephanopoulos in ABC News, what do you think it will be? Just truth?
Yeah, I think that it's a reasonable finding, what he said based upon the judge's order. And let's go one step further. Let's give Trump the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that he can prove actual malice, which I don't believe that he can. Okay, now we get down to damages. What are his damages? Did he lose the presidency over it? Are people jumping ship because they're hearing these horrible allegations about Trump? My goodness, I don't think that he could prove damages at all.
So do you think Trump is, so obviously you just said you don't think he's going to be able to prove damages, but is success in this case a legal success, or is it a different type of success?
Like
what does
optics,
success mean for Trump in this case?
Well, Trump isn't just going for legal. Everything he's doing is political as well. That's what I think this lawsuit is about. I think ultimately it'll probably be withdrawn. But the headlines are, he's suing, and now, he's tough, and somehow that's going to resonate with his base. I think this is a political lawsuit, not necessarily a legal one.
I think it's a courtship of Nancy Mace is what I think it is. He's coming in to save her, and I think he's going to use her as the Veep. That's what I think it is.
We'll have to wait and see.
I
Mark,
like it.
Mark,
I like it. Tori's on her game. She knows.
Thank you, Mark, for breaking it all
Say it
down
4
for
times.
us. For more information on Mark and his law firm, go to speaktomark.com. Thank you so much, Mark. Great seeing you.
Thank you.
Take care, guys.